Good afternoon. I'm glad to be here today to share the message with all of you. Actually, this is my second time coming to your church. I was here maybe about 4 years ago. And I'm so glad that Pastor was reviewing the plan that you are going to move to a new place. And we will, get there. And the purpose I'm here today is one, to share the good news. The secondly is to promote what our American Baptist churches, the Home Mission Society, that's the national ministry, that was the former name, have this first 3 months, the January, February, March, promote a collection of contributions from churches. It's called the America for Christ. And I brought a package for your pastor, and you might have seen some of these posters laying around in the church. America for Christ, I have 2 videos, which I will ask to show it in a couple minutes. So are you ready for the first one? So let's see the first one first.
Friendship House of Christian Service transforms the lives of children with God's love. Here, where crime rates and the numbers of single-parent families are the city's highest, where income levels are the lowest, and the high school graduation rate hovers around 52%, this center brings hope to the most vulnerable among us.
South Billings has been marred by generational poverty, which means that generations of families, grandparents, great-grandparents, all the way down to the children that we're serving today have been in the same circumstances. That means that the kids that we're serving primarily are learning the same things, the same behavior patterns that their parents are living by, which could lead to things like addiction, crime, relational discord. So our goal is to do what we can to fight that ongoing pattern of generational poverty.
A Children in Poverty grant, made possible through generous gifts to the America for Christ offering, has helped Friendship House wage its war against poverty by supporting the center's annual Summer Enrichment Program. This program gives children a safe place to learn and grow. For some children, the 2 meals and snacks provided each day mean they won't go hungry. The program also provides vacation Bible school, karate classes, and chances to experience the wonders of God's natural world. Activities such as equine therapy present new challenges that help children develop a sense of accomplishment.
We see an amazing transformation in some of our most difficult kids during the summer, simply because they're here 10 hours a day, which gives them the opportunity to develop meaningful relationships with the staff at Friendship House. What that means is that sometimes, for the very first time, kids have adults in their life that they can trust.
The kids come from dysfunctional families and just, they need all the guidance, and you can see the change. They come here, and after they get out of here, they're better in school, the grades come up, they have a lot better self-esteem, and that's the important thing. They're really loved on individually by the staff here.
Friendship House is just one of about 20 recipients of Children in Poverty grants, which American Baptist Home Mission Societies awards annually as part of its mission focus on justice for children. America for Christ gifts assure continuing grants that touch children's lives.
In the United States and Puerto Rico, there are 16 million children who are struggling to overcome the limitations of poverty. And truly, God has given us the resources to pay attention to respond and address needs of hunger, needs of homelessness, literacy development. The Lord does not give us more so that we can gain more. God puts more in our hands so that we may give more.
The work we're doing here at Friendship House is some of the most important work that can be done domestically. What we're doing is tangibly, every day, reaching into the lives of kids who most need us. Not only do they need the physical help that we're providing, they need the emotional and social support. And so a gift to ABHMS is really a gift to the most vulnerable kids in America.
Please reach out to our children. Give generously to the America for Christ offering.
second video was produced last year. It's about the Korean church in Phoenix, Arizona.
Through the generous support of the America for Christ offering, National Ministries helps American Baptists across the United States and Puerto Rico answer God's call to evangelism, discipleship, congregational renewal, and social justice with its home missionaries, resources, and programs. This mission is developing strong Christian leaders who are transforming individuals, churches, and even whole communities. In Phoenix, Arizona, National Ministries Leadership Training Program, From Maintenance to Missional, led a struggling congregation to discover a new vision.
National Ministries came in to help our church in our situation as being a declining congregation. Ron Carlson, who was part of that team that came in, began to discuss with us the missional church. And he said, maybe we can help you gain a new vision or where you can go.
We knew we had to change, but didn't know how. And I remember saying, we need missionaries to come here. We're the mission field.
With National Ministries guidance, members of Monte Vista Baptist Church reached out to their changing neighborhood and community. At the same time, a local Hispanic ministry searched for a place to call home. It was no coincidence that they found each other. The Monte Vista congregation welcomed the Hispanic ministry with hope and promise, laying the foundation for a new multicultural ministry. With renewed purpose, Monte Vista members sponsored refugee families from Cuba and Burma. Through its refugee resettlement, Monte Vista learned of a congregation of Burmese Korean refugees looking for an American Baptist church. Soon, hundreds of Korean were worshiping at the church that was nearly empty not so long ago.
And we feel very much loved and welcomed and embraced, and we feel like we're not alone in this country.
National Ministries helped Monte Vista Baptist Church look outside itself and find ministry in the world beyond its doors to understand what it means to be a truly missional church.
God used those ministries to help us see how we could be missional. Whenever you have multicultural events, it makes everything richer. It widens our perspective.
They welcome us. They provided a refuge, a physical refuge as well as a spiritual refuge for the people who come here.
You'll see them just pouring down the sidewalk. Families walking, coming to church. It just fills my heart and it just blesses me.
Thanks to the transforming leadership and guidance of National Ministries, the sanctuary of Monte Vista Baptist Church now reverberates with the harmonious voices of Korean refugees lifted in praise along with the voices of Centro Evangelistico Cristiano, as well as the congregation's longtime members. This one congregation has touched hundreds of lives, and your one contribution to the America for Christ offering will help National Ministries touch hundreds more, multiplying this work of transformation 1,000-fold. Please help us continue God's work by contributing with a generous heart to the America for Christ offering. Your prayers and dollars will help us all share and live the gospel. Thank you, and God bless.
Every year from January, February, March, and even up to April, the staff from the American Baptist Church, the Home Mission Societies, where I'm the staff there, to go out and speak at different churches and bring with them different packages. So today I would like to give this package to your pastor, and I would like to encourage your church to start thinking about this offering. This offering will what we collect will go to the headquarters, and then the headquarters will report it back to your region, and then the region will do ministry. And then the national office will take about 29% of what's the contribution nationwide, and to do all kinds of ministries. What you have seen is what I would like to share with you. It's called the vision of Macedonia. You know, this man, he was standing in Macedonia, and he said, "Come help us. Come help us." Today, brothers and sisters, I come here, want to share with you and want to report to you what the good Lord had done to our Burmese, to our Karen and our Chin brothers and sisters. Since 1967, as you know, that no missionaries was set foot in Burma. And when the regime was going on, and so many of the ethnic people were being pushed out. In this, I'm going to jump very fast because of the time, but I would like to give you a little bit of the history, what American Baptist Church had done so far. The refugee camps opened up in 2006. Now, prior to 2006, we know that already some nationals, Burman nationals and Karen and even some of the Chins came here. Your church became a new plant church back in 1998. And in America, there are 10 umbrella refugee resettlement agency. The largest one is the Catholic Charity. Then it comes to Lutheran Social Service. And then American Baptist partnership with the Church World Service. And Church World Service is one of the 10 umbrella agency, and under Church World Service, there are 30-some members. And American Baptist Churches is one of the members. And yet American Baptist is they absorb the refugees after World War II. Up to today, our denomination had taken in 100,000 world refugees. Okay, world refugees. And then the jump for the last 5 years, it was a sky high, you know, not by Church World Service, but the jump to absorb the refugees after they settled in United States was amazing. Why? As you know, that you all have this Justin legacy. You all have this Justin legacy. The 10 umbrella agency, the Lutheran Social Service, the Catholic Charity, the Jewish Refugee Resettlement, the Church World Service, and the IRC International Rescue Committee, all combined, they have taken in 70,000, 70,000 Burma refugees, okay, since 2006. Not counting the world refugees. Every year the State Department will set a quota. Okay. Now, since 2006, every year, the first half of 2006, that only 6,000 came. Then you jump to 2007, 10,000. And then 2008, 14,000. And 2009, another 14,000. So on and on. From Mela Camp, Tahin Camp, Meilun Camp, and Site 1, Site 2. God is doing something in us today. And I'm standing here, I'm speaking on behalf of the Burma Refugee Task Force. And back in 2006, when Pastor was in Seattle, remember? You were in Seattle. And we were addressing a question to the General Secretary. What are you going to do with the Burmese refugees coming here now? So Dr. Roy Matley, the General Secretary, then had no clue about all this influx. Pastor, no. And other Chin pastor and other Burmese pastors in the country, they begin to know. And they were telling the denomination, so the denomination had to take action. The scene behind Macedonia is a mission in action, and not missing in action. And that is the lesson that what you and I have to learn. Where are you today in your mission? Are you a missionary in action, or are you a missionary missing in action? This is the crucial point. I was not a Burmese, but I'm so impressed. I feel I'm part of you. And in fact, I pastored this church, Amherst Baptist Church, for 4 years before I moved on to the headquarters. The Asian churches contained the Chinese, the Japanese, the Korean, the Thai, the Indian, the Burmese, the Karen, the Chin, the Kachin, the Karenni, the Mon, the Shang, the Naga. And right now we have a whole group of the people from Nagaland that are coming over to the United States. The mission field, my brothers and sisters, is still overseas, but yet the mission field is right here at home. Right here at home, in your front yard. As we remember the typhoon or the cyclone victims back in Burma, we pray for them, because someday they will have a blessing of what you have done. What you and I have in common is that we live in the best of two worlds, and yet we struggle. And yet we struggle. Am I a Burmese or am I American? Am I the Chinese or am I American? Who am I? What am I? What is my identity? The refugees had lived in North Thailand for over 25 years, until 2006 when the State Department went over to the Thai government and meet with United Nations and the Thai government. And with this feeding agency, it's called the Thai-Burma Consortium, TBBC, Thai-Burma Border Consortium, where American Baptists give money every year to support them so that TBBC can buy bamboos, can buy food, can buy rice to the people in the refugee camps. And so from 2006 up to now, the height was 2007. So in 2007, when we asked, after the Asian conference in 2006 in Seattle, the General Secretary didn't know what to do. So we got to set up a task force. And it falls into the Asian Ministry desk. That's where I am, my responsibility is. And yet, I see this is not just the Asian ministry, it's the denominational issues. And so therefore we galvanize, we get the international ministry staff, we get the local church staff, we get Pastor Ma, we get Reverend Solatu, we got the Chin pastor, all together to form a task force. And so in 2008, we went to Mela camp, the largest camp. There are 50,000 refugees there. There are total 9 refugee camps. And the Tahim camp was the first camp that released the people. And then we were in the Bible school in Mela camp and looking at hundreds and hundreds of kids running around. And all that Bible school people that they're yearning to serve Christ. And so in 2008, my spirit was that it's like at night when I hear that, come over, help us. My tear was dripping down. This is where I was trying to, so emotional that I want to read it to you. The experience at Mela camp was an awesome experience. In a way, I saw how God preserved life when human life was in its frailty and at its adverse condition. My emotion went high when I witnessed the children running around and playing on the dusty road, the dusty ground with their bare feet. I was so moved by the singings and the spirit serving in each individual at the Sunday service. As I returned to the vehicle at the end of the day, driving through the winding road, I saw rows and rows of bamboo huts lined along the hill and at the edges of the slopes. Atop the hill of the church, nested between the bamboo huts on the hill. It spoke so powerful of the Calvary and the suffering Christ and the real-life situation of the refugees in the camp. In the same mission trip in 2009, where our group visited the Chin refugees in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. The Mela camp I visited in 2008 with Dr. Roy Matley, the mission team, and then 2009 we went back to Mela camp to revisit again, and then we went on to Kuala Lumpur because the people in Kuala Lumpur, come over. We are here and nobody helped us. Come over. The situation of the Chin people in Kuala Lumpur is not like in Thailand. They are not recognized by the Thai government, and therefore they don't have a refugee camps. What they have is, a group of people find a place in a very down and out ghetto area in Kuala Lumpur, and I was there walking through. When it rained, the water flooded. In a room like this situation, you cut it into 4, and each quarter house about 30 to 40 people. And the Malaysian government, because they don't have a document, so the kids cannot go to public school. The kids cannot go to public school. Okay. Now, versus back in Mela camp and other refugee camp, and the people initiate their own, they're taking action, they're taking things on their hand. They form the school. But in Malaysia, eventually, because the government don't allow them to go to public education, so eventually they form their own volunteer school. All the adults are volunteer to teach the kids. But more very distressed me in what happened in Kuala Lumpur is that the Malaysian government has set up a civilian group. It's called the RELA. The RELA is similar to the ICE here in this country, similar to the Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Like in the middle of the night, they come to and knock at your home and look for your document. If you don't have document, they run you up. And the RELA was so forceful in Kuala Lumpur, the girls didn't want to go out, because when they were, captured, and they don't have any document to show, they will put them into the jail and then eventually bring them back to the border of Burma. And yet, at the border, they got raped and all kinds of things happening, and didn't go back they cannot go back to Burma. And so this situation was so tense and so distressing. So we finally, in 2009, in that trip, we met with United Nations, the High Commission of the Refugees. So the director, I was sitting there with our team and looking at the director, what are you going to do? There are over 30,000 Chin refugees, in Kuala Lumpur. And still, the number still there didn't decrease that much. Besides the Chin people from Kuala Lumpur, a lot of them are from New Delhi, India, Mizoram, in that part of the country. What I'm trying to say, folks, today, the voice, Paul was going out to the Gentile, Paul was going out to the Asia Minor. He go from place to place. He turned the Gentile into Christian. He took the gospel to the people and telling them to become a Christian. And yet the Christian had encountered a lot of challenges because the Christian Jews had to jurisdict them. They had to be circumcised. And as you come to this country, as the Karen and the Chin and the New Burmese people are all immigrants that come into this country, we had to go through so many customs. We had to go through so many of the mainstream culture requirements Today I'm standing here, I want to be level off with you because you are the person in Macedonia. In the scripture it says a man. Paul see a man in the middle of the night. Paul saw that man in the middle of the night from Macedonia. Come over, help us. Are you that man? Are you that man that you saw someone experiencing injustice? Are you that man that you saw something was not right? Are you that man that you have seen your people has suffered? Are you that person that you have seen their cries? That you're going out and ask, come over. And yet I want to flip to the other side. Did you hear that person from Macedonia calling you, come over? Now you are the object. Where is our mission today? Where is our mission today? In the book, Bless God and Take Courage, The Judson History and Legacy, written by Rosalie Hall Hunt, describe Adonai and Ann Judson's mission in Burma. In this mission adventure, Adonai and Ann, they encountered numerous adversities in an alienated world. They were stricken with disease, confinement, loneliness, health decline, tragedy, and many, many other things. And for many years, there was nothing favorable or working out for this young couple. And yet in each difficult situation and in each tragedy, they simply bless God and take courage. Bless God and take courage. When Anne's children were suffering and died one by one, they didn't complain God. When Anne herself was dying, they didn't complain God. They blessed God instead and took courage. The refugees from Burma somehow had learned this Judson legacy and followed his footprints. Whenever they were persecuted, running or hiding for life, they simply remember, bless God, and took courage. Today, for you and me, yes, in this country, we have to go through so many things. A job, a family. There was an immigrant story. There were 5 steps. It's like a joke that when an immigrant come to this country, why they come to the country? Because of the American dream. What is the American dream? The American dream is you have good education. The American dream is after you have good education, then you find a good job. The American dream is after you got a good education and you find a good job, then you get a good wife or a good husband. The American dream is after you got an education and after you got a job and after you got a husband or a wife, then you got a children. The American dream is after you got all those, the next thing is that I want to have a car. It's an education, job, spouse, a house, a car. Living in America, sometimes this American dream driven us. Sounds like they become American nightmare. Because we are so, turned by the secular and the materialistic thing that demand us in our life, that we lost our spiritual beings. And one of the things that I'm trying to support our new immigrants, and after they come here, I don't want to call them refugees no more, that they are our new brothers and sisters in this country. Yet the challenge with them is the culture, as you have experienced, as you have gone through, the language. I was visited in Utica near Buffalo. There was a tragic car accident. The family, the man just got a job and passed the driving license. He drove the car before he got the license because he had to, survive to get a job. And in the winter, and not knowing the roadside very well, he got a head-on, and his life is gone. And not even that, his children and the wife in the car. So there are at least 10 or dozen of this kind of car accident tragedy that came to my office and heard. It's very sad, because they came here, they had to find a job. And New York City, as you know, we don't have many refugees, because I was talking to the refugee agency. You do not put the people in a ghetto area, and if you put them here, you are responsible to keep them living, okay? Even though I was shouting or screaming and all that. But at the end of the day, brother and sister, the visions come to us. The visions come to you. Are you that voice? Are you that man? Where's the help come from? The helps come from the Lord in the darkest of the day and in the brightest of the sun. And so today, I would like to encourage each one of us, as you move on to your next milestone, to perhaps moving your church to Glendale. And just like the Chin refugees reminded me and taught me such a big lesson. And I want to share this and then I'll finish. Because they don't have a document, so they were hiding in the forest, in the jungle. So we went up to the jungle to find them so that we can bring the rice to them. And each bag of rice of 50 pounds is very heavy. So we have to, ahead of time, the Chin Human Rights Organization had to call the men to come down and to bring the rice up to them. And when we climb up into the jungle, we have a short service. But what impressed me, and my tears keep coming down, was that in the midst of this running and hiding for life, they built a Zion church. They built a church there. Just use a very simple tree limbs, the bamboo that they found on the tree limbs, to build the Zion church. And exactly that's when the Israel people, they're running for life, they're bringing their tabernacle with them. That's the symbol of God, that's the symbol of the spiritual life. That's the symbol and the essence of their people. I pray that your church to bring this tabernacle with you, that you have waited for long years to have a new home or new place. Let's go for it. But when you go for it, don't lose sight of this tabernacle. That's Zion Church. That's Zion Church. And that church is in you. Because you will be the subject of the person come over and help. Or you could be the object to receive help. But whoever they are, you are, and whatever you're doing, the thing is this. Today, the mission is right here at home. There will become a mission explosions. The largest Korean church that I visited is in St. Paul, Minnesota. They have over 1,000 members now, but the Korean members are 800 Korean members. And the Euro-American members is only less than 100 people. Can you imagine? And in 2013, right? 2013, Justin in Burma, we're going to celebrate the 200 years anniversary of the Justin. And we are going to organize, I myself from this task will organize a delegation to go. And I would invite Pastor, I would invite any one of you come, let's go to Burma. And before that, and also in June of 2013, the next biennial, this biennial is in Puerto Rico, it's too expensive, not too many people can afford it. But the next biennial is in Kansas City, Kansas. We are going to highlight celebrating the Justin anniversary. And after that, we're going to Burma in December. So I would like you to be open to think about that. Where is your Macedonian voice? And are you that man? Are you that woman? Are you that child? Are you that person? Amen.
Macedonia ခေါ်တဲ့အတန်နဲ့ Macedonia ယူပါယူလူတိုင်းသိပြီးသားဖြစ်ပါတယ်လို့အဲ့တော့သူ့ရဲ့အချုပ်ကတော့ဒီမှာသူပြောသွားတော့နော် come over and help us ငါတို့ရှိကိုလာပြီးတော့ကူညီပါတဲ့နော် we are here and nobody help us ငါတို့ဒီမှာရောက်နေပြီရှိနေပြီဒါပေမဲ့ငါတို့ကူညီမဲ့လူမရှိဘူးတဲ့ဒါကြောင့်မို့ငါတို့ကိုလာရောက်ပြီးတော့မှကူညီမစားဖို့ဆိုပြီးတော့မှသူကကျွန်တော်တို့ကိုအားပေးပြီးတော့မှသူတို့လှုပ်ဆောင်တဲ့တာလလုပ်ငန်းများတို့ကိုပေါ်ပြသွားတာတွေ့ရပါတယ်လို့ဒါကြောင့်မို့ဒီနေဇာမှာရှိတဲ့ထိုင်းနေဇာမှာရှိတဲ့ကရင်လူမျိုးများမလေးရှားမှာရှိတဲ့ချင်းလူမျိုးများနော်အဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ဟာအဲ့ဒီမာကီဒိုနီမှာရှိတဲ့လူပေါ့နော်ကျွန်တော်တို့လာကူဘာလို့ခေါ်တဲ့သူများဖြစ်ပါသလားဆိုပြီးတော့မှဒီနေ့ဖော်ပြနေပါတယ်လို့အဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်ကတော့သူ့ရဲ့တရားဟောချက်ကိုစိတ်ငြိမ်နဲ့ကျွန်တော်တို့ကမာကီဒိုနီပြည်မှာရှိပြီးတော့မှကျွန်တော်တို့လာကူပါလို့ပြောရမယ်အစစ်မှာနေရမယ်လူတွေမဟုတ်တော့ဘူးကျွန်တော်တို့ကပေါ်လို့ဘာသာလို့ရမယ်လူတွေလဲသာသနာသွားပြီးတော့ပြုရမယ်အစစ်နေရာမှာရောက်နေတဲ့သူများဖြစ်တယ်လို့ကျွန်တော်တို့အားပေးကြပါတယ်လို့ဒါကြောင့်ဒီနေ့သူရဲ့နှုတ်ကပတ်တော်ကိုကျွန်တော်ဒီမှာပဲစိတ်ကြင်ပြီးတော့ခွန်အားယူဖို့ဖြစ်ပါတယ်လို့ Florence Li, we are very thankful for your sermon. It's very inspiring and encouraging us. ကျွန်တော်တို့နည်းနည်းလေးသူလည်းမြင်သွားအောင်နော်ကျွန်တော်တို့အသင်းတော်မှာရှိတဲ့လူမျိုးလိုက်နည်းနည်းလေးမတ်တပ်ရပြဖို့ဖြစ်ပါတယ် We have a multicultural groups in our church, so I would like to call the respective racial group. Okay. ကရင်လူမျိုးများရှိပါစကောကေပိုးကေအကုန်လုံးမတက်ရပါလို့ရှိလို့ရှိရင်ဟုတ်ပြီကဲသူလည်းမြင်သွားအောင်နော်ကဲလက်ခုပ်တီးပါအောင်ဗျာဟုတ်ပြီthese are the French people. Okay ထိုင်လည်းမှာပြီလို့ချင်းလူမျိုးများကဲထားပါလို့အကုန်လုံးဟုတ်ပြီဟုတ်ပြီချင်းလူမျိုးများချင်းNow, you get I mean, you have a lot, right? And you have living in the mountain, but that's different, right? Okay, now general Mulumyo de Sheila. Oh, they are Sheila. Think now they can no more. Okay, Ayolumya, okay, Sheila. We have a Chinese, okay, okay, now Lumuma Babu Sheila. You know what you're here about Lumu? India Lumyo Sheila. The Indian, okay, we have a Nepalese. Yeah, we call it Korakat. One of the she was converted lately, and we have baptized here in this church. Jamuna, right? Jamuna, yes. Okay. Can now go? Ale? Oh, right. We have a okay. Taba. Only one. Oh, right. 100% old. And then okay, now so we are quite a mixed group, and we will not just racial, we have interdenominational. Right? Okay, yeah.
The one thing I missed to tell you that because we need pastors, okay, we need pastors, but we also need you to the core of ministry. So if you feel that God called you into ministry, okay, we have seminaries. And right now, next week, March 1st, I'm having a Solid 2, and Dr. Anna May and Dr. Stephen Kyo, and in the future, I'll get pastor to teach, to train the people to become a pastor of the local church, and they can do a local church ordination.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay. Julie. Now, Omaro lie no so bama, amuse me the Suishiban, amuse me the Wobujan, the Lam, Pamao Sare, Druye, Tozan, Teosia, Sabro, they are holding it, Sab, General Lame, the Dinglima, Albanima Shide, the Vilos in my father, Nichimbi, sorry, Poiro Biu, Shide, General Nasumba, Mashiro, the nature of Shide, the name of General Chechapima. I'm used to me, hope you go with the Shiva, I'm used to me, look, can you to die? Now, I have been they are over. I just the general, I'm using more than I made a 10 years old. And I'm using me up, we will not take out 2 copy, but I don't get to the